I am so sick and f***ing tired of airlines like Bulgaria Air.
In 2021, I took a flight on Bulgaria Air and it was a total disaster. Absolute shocking safety, crew nowhere to be found, and overall an experience to forget. The video reached almost 1 million views and the airline pledged to work on its shortcomings. 3 years later, I'm back to see whether Bulgaria Air has done its homework, and let me tell you, this video will absolutely blow your mind. So let's fly to Sofia.
Guys, a beautiful morning. I am not at the beach. I am at the viewing platform here at Prague International Airport, and today we're flying one of the channel's favorite, Bulgaria Air, a video that created quite some noise in 2021. We're flying their brand new Airbus 220 to Sofia, so let's check in.
So just arrived at the gate. The plane is about to land any minute. Also quite happy to see that Air Bulgaria is not joining the trend of Air Albania being cheap on lounge access, so that is already a great impression. I also told you that the video in 2021 created quite some noise. It had almost 1 million views, and there was quite an interesting reaction from the airline as well. So let me give you the behind the scenes once we're on board.
And there she landed, the Airbus A220-300, which is pretty much the flagship of Bulgaria Air, on our plane to Sofia today. I think it perfectly fits the need of the airline, and personally, the 220 is one of my favorites, especially on medium flights within Europe. So let's get on board.
Thank you, remember. Thank you. All right, let's go. Let's board the Airbus 220 and let's see whether they have some crew this time.
Dobry den. Hello. Dobry den.
So guys, welcome on board Bulgaria Air, and I'm absolutely mind blown. From an airline that did the bare minimum to an airline that has a dedicated business class seat in Europe. Everybody who flies inter-European knows that business class in Europe only means a blocked middle seat. Also, each passenger gets a bottle of water at the door, and even the purser came and welcomed me at my seat. So it's definitely not the Air Bulgaria that I remember, and I think we're in for quite a treat today.
Thank you.
So guys, we are just on our way to the runway, and remember there was a lot of safety issues on my first flight in 2021. Today, I say I probably have the most safety conscious crew that I've seen in a very long time. You know, when people read the safety instruction, or passers especially, they read it from their phone. He knew it all by heart. Went to check the cabin twice, made sure there's no bags, there's no obstacles. Makes me really happy to see that there's a very different energy, very different spirit on Bulgaria Air, and let's see whether this continues throughout the flight. But so far, these kind of things make me incredibly happy when I know that airlines take a feedback and they try to change the culture. And what I've experienced so far has been pretty impressive. I'm very happy to see that. It was then time to say goodbye to the motherland and make our way to Bulgaria. Also, a lot of you guys ask about the gear I use to document my travels, so I put together a comprehensive list on my website. The link is in the description box below. First call of action for the crew was to hand out hot towels, followed by menus. I hope Air Albania is watching and taking notes. So guys, we just reached cruising altitude, and another thing that I've noticed, which is pretty amazing and stands testament for the dedication that the crew has to their job, is the fact that the person knows all the announcements by heart in English and in Bulgarian, which just shows how passionate he is about his job, and it makes me really happy to see that here on this flight. Also, we can actually draw a really cool comparison to Albania Air, which I flew last week, and the differences are already like pretty significant. You know, the fact that there's a menu, the fact that there's more than one meal to choose from. Because if you compare Albania and Bulgaria, pretty similar countries, both like similar in size, in culture, in history. So yeah, so far it seems like Bulgaria Air is winning this one. So half an hour into the flight, there's a hot meal right in front of me. I could choose between a salmon or chicken. Looks pretty good, decent in presentation, and can't wait to dig in. And once I'm finished with my lunch, I'm going to tell you the behind the scenes of what happened and what the airline said and what the consequences were for the crew back then. I will update you after I finish this meal here. Guys, that was a pretty decent meal. Loved it. Salmon was fantastic. So was the little starters. I don't know what it was, but delicious. Also the bread. It is so soft and so fresh. I don't know whether they bake them themselves here in the oven in the galley, because otherwise I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, very, very happy with the meal service here. And now it's story time. So guys, I promised you a bit of story time. So let me tell you what happened in 2021 after I posted a video which went quite viral, I'd say. Almost reached 1 million views, created quite some noise, and generally when I post my videos, that's it for me. I'm done. I'm not interested in any communication with the airlines. I don't want any compensation, not interested in any PR flights, free flights. It's not for me. I don't want it. However, the airline reached out, or not the airline itself, but their PR agency, and they were pretty concerned about safety, so they sent me a lot of documents. They also sent me photos of their Airbus 220 with the proper livery, because when I flew from Amsterdam to Sofia, actually I ended up on a leased plane which had no livery. It was plain, it was blank, there was nothing on it. So they sent me actually as if I don't know, you know. I mean, I'm an F geek. I know what every airline in the world looks like pretty much. So it was pretty cute, but I mean, obviously there was nothing that you can do in that situation. As I said, like, come on, use that video to train your crew, train them in all those safety aspects in terms of service, and just use this, you know, to make a difference. You know, it's always a good opportunity when things like this happen to like readjust the direction the company is heading, or the service mentality that you want to have on board. So that was pretty much my response, because what else is there that I can do? I'm obviously not going to delete the video, so that was pretty edge from my side. And sometimes you get like whistleblowers, so airline employees, crew members, former crew members who have an insight and they share informations with you. So I had a person reach out to me on Facebook, obviously from a fake account, but this person knew a lot of details about what happened, and he or she told me that all 4 crew members on this flight were terminated. I mean, I always hate when this happens, and I only know that in 2 cases. Qatar Airways, they did the same to their crew, which is still not 100% confirmed, and apparently Bulgaria Air. So this is something I do not encourage, because everybody can be trained, everyone can be adjusted, and it's the last thing that I want to see, because nobody should lose their job because of a flight review. That's absolute nonsense. I mean, things like this have happened to me. I've lost jobs because I was really bad at it, you know. So these kind of things can happen. Interesting story. I used to work at McDonald's, and in the summertime we always would have foreign workers, and they happened to be from Bulgaria. And I remember that they were bullied, and I hated it. So I stood up for them, and because I stood up, and the manager felt that I questioned her authority, I was fired. I was fired from the job. You know, by the end of the day, I don't have regrets. I think like if one door closes, another one opens. You know, that's my approach in life, and that's how I look at things. But let me tell you, Germans can be quite racist and bullies as well. And that's probably the reason why I don't really like Germany as well. My family moved to Germany when I was very young. We were refugees. My mom is from the Czech Republic. My grandmother is from Ukraine. And I went to a school in a little village, and they didn't like me for the fact that I was not from Germany, that I had an accent, my mom had an accent, my German wasn't that good. So even my teacher would get the class to vote whether I can join school excursions. And I remember she would hand out little papers, and everybody should write yes or no, can Josh join us on the excursion. That's how brutal it was, you know. I was bullied for being a foreigner, and that was quite shocking for me back in the days as well. That's why I decided as soon as I turn 18, I'll leave Germany, and I never lived there ever since, you know. So, but that's pretty much what happened. Also, an interesting fact is Bulgaria Air called Qatar Airways back then because they had an agreement that some of the crew of Bulgaria Air was trained by Qatar Airways back in the day, and then they asked Qatar Airways how to deal with that whole incident. Ironically, Qatar Airways showed to the world how not to deal with a bad flight review, you know. So hey, well done. So I think Qatar Airways should in the future call Bulgaria Air to get advice from them, because how they dealt with it, it's pretty impressive. Because what I experienced today on this flight was world class. Great service, fantastic crew, lovely food, an amazing hard product. So I couldn't be happier than with what I witnessed today. The consciousness they had for safety, constant presence in the cabin, and the purser was outstanding as well. So that's why I do these videos. This is why I go out there and hold airlines responsible, because I know if it wasn't for that first video, the airline wouldn't have changed that dramatically. Maybe not just because of my video, maybe there were a lot of other incidents as well, but I think surely it contributed to what we saw today. And this is what I'm immensely proud of, and I'm very proud of Bulgaria Air for really turning it around and then becoming such a cool airline from my flight today. So we just started our descent anyways, so I'll talk to you guys once I'm on the ground. I had a quick visit to the loo as well, and it appeared to be well taken care of. As hard as I tried, I couldn't find anything to fault on this flight, and this today was as good as an airline can be. They're setting a great standard on what inter-European business class should look like. To everyone in charge, you have done a great job, and if the airline continues like that, they will create a great name for themselves. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of Bulgaria Air. Have you noticed the same?
Thank you. All the best.
Bye bye. Thank you. Same to you. Bye bye.
Welcome to Bulgaria. I have to continue to Istanbul, so we'll be flying Turkish Airlines on their 320. I'm gonna make this part of this video as well, but I quickly wanted to summarize my experience on Bulgaria Air, and it was the perfect flight. Fantastic crew, outstanding purser, great food, incredible hard product. I was like literally blown away by how fantastic the experience was. You know, I think it's one of the greatest redemption stories on this channel, and I'm really glad to see that Bulgaria Air is performing so good. I loved it. Like honestly, I couldn't have asked for more, and I think it's very important that I tell you that. And so yeah, I'm gonna head to the lounge now, and then we're gonna fly Turkish Airlines to Istanbul, and then tomorrow I'll be flying to Tunisia, flying Tunis Air, perhaps for another redemption story or another horror story. Tunis Air is one of the few airlines that was worse. You know, sometimes when you have like a really bad flight and it made headlines and it becomes a very popular video on the channel, usually after a year or two I go back, and then it's usually a much better experience, as it was now with Bulgaria Air. However, with Tunis Air, it keeps on getting worse. So, but yeah, let's give them a fair chance as well. Now let's head into the lounge, have a coffee, and then we fly to Turkey.
So guys, and here we are. Welcome on the second flight of the day, flying Turkish Airlines in what looks like Euro business class. I didn't know that they have still the old seats here in Turkish Airlines, because usually they have a dedicated business class, but this plane is like a true dinosaur. It's like 16 years old, so it's very, very different to what you usually get to see on the 320 Neos, the Max, or the 321s, like the narrow body fleet, which does have a pretty decent business class. The flight is like roughly an hour, so let's see how it compares to Bulgaria Air. And I think it's also like my 29th flight on Turkish Airlines in my lifespan, so yeah, no stranger to flying Turkish Airlines. The thing is with Turkish Airlines, they're like KFC kind of, you know, you never really crave it, but it's actually pretty good when you have it. So yeah, let's see how this flight goes. Guys, we just started our descent into Istanbul, and for a 45-minute hop, that was a perfect flight. Great food, lovely crew, everything that you really need, or more than you need on such a short flight. Now it's probably also a good time to end the video, because once I'm on the ground I have to go to the hotel, get max 5 hours sleep, and then fly to Tunisia tomorrow morning. But yeah guys, I think today was a great redemption story of an airline that has put a lot of work in to improve, to change its image, and to deliver to the customer. And that's what we want to see in the industry, right? From not giving a damn to trying to figure out how to turn this into a great experience for our customers. And this is where I'm extremely delighted today, and extremely grateful also to the purser, because he literally made my day. When I saw what I experienced today, I was extremely happy, and it gives me joy in life when I see people, when I see airlines, when I see aviation succeed. That is the greatest gift that you can give me, and I'm glad that I was able to witness that. But yeah guys, let me know in the comment section below what you think of this whole story, what you think of Bulgaria Air, and how you think they performed. and I would be very happy and delighted if you guys could check out my Patreon if you're interested in some extra perks, such as my Cahill keyring, which looks pretty awesome on your carry-on, to be part of my WhatsApp group, have early access to my videos, or your name in the credits. It's really worth it, and it helps me to continue to do this job and bring you more great aviation stories. Otherwise, just hit that like button, subscribe for more aviation adventures, yeah, thank you so much for being part of my journey, and wherever you're off to, have a safe trip.